This is one of those Klaviyo mistakes that seems minor at first until you realize it's affecting who gets emails, how flows trigger, and whether your reporting even makes sense. Today, I'm talking about the difference between lists and segments and why confusing them breaks more than most brands realize. I'm Laryssa, and for a decade with my agency, Joya, I've been helping women-focused, product-based e-commerce brands grow with more intention, creativity, and clarity. We ditch the marketing formulas that don't feel like you and build strategies that actually connect. Lists and segments are one of those things I think a lot of brands kind of understand, but not fully. Because when you're inside Klaviyo or really any other email platform, they look similar enough. They both group people, they both give you a number, they both can be used when you're sending emails. So from a practical standpoint, it's very easy to start using them interchangeably, especially if you're moving quickly or just trying to get an email out the door. Early on, I think a lot of people assume lists and segments are basically the same thing with different names. And on the surface, I get why. They both group people. But in practice, confusing them leads to some of the most preventable problems I see in email accounts. It's not that something immediately breaks. Your campaigns will still send. Your flows will probably still run. People will still get your emails. And so it won't feel like something needs to be fixed, especially not immediately. But what does start to happen is that the logic underneath your account gets a little bit off. And when I say logic, I mean how people are being grouped, how decisions are being made, and how different pieces of your email marketing system connect to each other. A list is not just a group of people, and a segment is not just another version of a list. They're built differently, they behave differently, and if your team doesn't understand that, you will end up making decisions based on the wrong logic. And that wrong logic doesn't usually show up as one obvious mistake, it shows up as small mismatches. You create a list for something that probably should have been a segment. You reuse that list later for something slightly different. You build a flow off of it. And now that original decision that maybe you made months ago is influencing multiple parts of your account. And then maybe someone else on your team or a freelancer or someone outside your team builds something a little differently. And over time, in the history of your email account, it's going to become harder to follow what is actually happening. Who's getting the emails? Who's not getting the emails? Is this right? Not because anything was really broken per se, but because the structure is no longer clean and easy to understand. So let me make this a little more concrete. A list is typically tied to how someone enters your world. Someone signs up through a pop-up, they join your newsletter, they give consent to be marketed to, and then that action puts them onto a list. So lists are usually more static. They're tied to acquisition, they're tied to consent. On the other hand, a segment is dynamic. It's not necessarily about how someone signed up, though you can build a segment off of that. It's actually more about the behavior, about the characteristics, about things that they've done. So a segment might be people who viewed a specific product in the last 30 days, people who haven't purchased yet, people who clicked an email recently, VIP customers based on spend. And those groups are constantly updating based on behavior. So the difference between lists and segments isn't just technical, it's functional too. A list, for the most part, answers the question, how did this person get here? A segment, for the most part, answers the question, what should we do with them now? And once you start thinking about it that way, it becomes a lot easier to see where things go wrong. If you're trying to use lists to define behavior or characteristics, or segments to try to manage consent, you're really mixing two different roles. And that's where that wrong logic I talked about starts to ripple out into everything else and cause little mistakes that become bigger ones over time. In Klaviyo especially, lists and segments are not interchangeable. And when a brand is treating them like they are, it's going to create problems everywhere, from the bad targeting to the messy reporting to automations firing in ways they really shouldn't. Email marketing relies so heavily on clarity that if you can't clearly answer who is this thing going to and why are they getting it, then it just gets really hard. And I think that's where I see people struggle with email marketing. It also becomes harder to interpret results. What's working, what's not working, and why. Harder to understand what's going on in general, and harder to delegate it to another person if you need to. You also are going to have trouble trusting your own decisions. And over time, that's what makes an account feel really messy, even if technically everything is kind of still happening. But before I get into how to think about this more clearly in your own email marketing account, a quick break to tell you about JoyJoya. We partner with women-focused e-commerce brands to turn their email and SMS channels into true growth engines. Our clients typically see a 30 to 40% lift in revenue within the first 90 days. Visit joyjoya.com to see what we can do for you. The first shift is to stop thinking about lists and segments as just two ways to group people. If you find yourself creating a new list because you want to send to a different group of people, pause there. That's usually a signal that what you actually need is a segment, because lists aren't meant to be flexible targeting tools. They're meant to represent how someone entered your ecosystem, not every variation of who you might want to send to later. The second shift is to let segments handle your decision making. So instead of asking which list should this go to, start asking with each campaign, what qualities or characteristics define the right audience for this particular email that I'm trying to send? What has the subscriber done? What haven't they done? Where are they in their relationship with you, the brand? That's where segments become really powerful, because they reflect behavior and not just membership to a list. And the third piece is honestly just awareness, because a lot of this comes down to accumulation over time. One list here, another list there, a few segments built differently, a flow tied to something that made sense at one time, and months later the account is, again, still running, but harder to navigate, harder to trust, and harder to scale. I see it a lot when I audit email accounts, especially ones that have a lot of history, maybe over the course of a few years, trying to make sense of all the different lists and how they're interacting with each other, plus the segments on top of that. When many hands have been involved in the email marketing account over time, is really hard. So one of the first things we try to do, honestly, is simplify, get back to the basics. What is the core list or lists? Usually one or two, and what are the most essential segments that we need? And let's try to get rid of everything else and start over to some extent or another. So even just taking the time to step back and look at how lists and segments are being used currently and asking, does this actually reflect how we want this system to function, can make a really big difference. If you have a lot of lists and a lot of segments, I would say not a red flag necessarily, but a yellow flag that maybe it's time to wonder, is the structure clear? Can the targeting get cleaner? Your flows will behave more predictably, your reporting will make more sense to you, and your whole email marketing strategy is just going to become easier to execute overall, because then you're not constantly second guessing what's happening under the surface. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, like and subscribe for more tips. And if you're serious about scaling your e-commerce brand through email and SMS, head to joyjoya.com to learn more.